Imagine having the opportunity to save the life of an animal. Everyone around the globe owns pets or has owned a pet in the past. Well, who doesn't love animals, frankly? Pets can be considered as part of the family. However, if you don't own a pet and are thinking of adding on to your family, adopting a pet is the way to go. But how do you adopt a pet? Well, that's what I am here to explain. There's going to be a couple prerequisites. Before adopting a pet, research is required, so for this, you're going to need a computer or a laptop. The goal is to adopt the pet of your choice. So before bringing the animal home, you're going to need food and water bowls, a collar, a leash depending on the animal you pick, a bed, and in the case that you do pick a cat, you're going to need kitty litter and a litter box. The first step is to sit down in front of a computer and do some research about animal shelters and rescues. Knowing why adopting an animal is better compared to alternatives is important. According to the Humane Society, each year it is estimated that more than 1 million adoptable dogs and cats are euthanized in the United States, simply because too many pets come into shelters and too few people consider adoption when looking for a pet. The second step is finding the right resource. The Shelter Pet Project is great help since it has every shelter and pet listed on their website. Another option is finding local shelters around you. One thing to avoid is not knowing the difference between a rescue and shelter. According to the Shelter Pet Project, the biggest difference is that most shelters keep their available pets in a single facility, while most rescue groups keep theirs in the homes of volunteers. After you have found an animal shelter or rescue of your choice, the next step is to visit the animal in person to see if you bond with them. If you are at this step, it probably means that you have found the pet of your choice, which is great. However, there is still paperwork that needs to be filled out. Each shelter or rescue will ask you to fill out an adoption application. This application will include things like your experience with pets, landlord information, and references. Depending on the place that you pick, there will be fees included. One thing to avoid is not knowing the difference between a municipal or private shelter. This is important because private shelters require an interview with the shelter's counselors. This is just for their knowledge. According to a personal story shared on Pet Feed, Angela Vujovic talks about her own experience with finding all of her 7 dogs from shelters. She explained that she was indeed interviewed and that some questions might seem intruding, but it is important to answer them honestly because all they want is for the pet to be in a safe environment where they are loved. Finally, the last step is bringing your pet to its new home. Pets are adorable and we all love them with all our hearts. Adopting an animal is one way of finding a new member to add to your family. Simply by researching the right shelter or rescue center and filling in some paperwork, this can guarantee your pet a new and safe home.